The Immortal Thor, issue number 9. That's right, folks. Just when you thought Al Ewing was done talking about, the environment and big corporations screwing things over, he's got a little bit more to say, everybody. That's not a surprise. That's also an arc he did in the Immortal Hulk book. Now, we're just doing it sooner. But I can't be mad. I can't be mad because I think this is genuinely an interesting story for Thor. He is not a character who you think of when you think about, we have to save the environment. We have to make sure we're all okay. Humanity is doomed by their actions. He's not a character that thinks about that stuff. So actually doing that, it's kind of interesting. It's like an idea with Thor I do like. And I've liked this book a lot so far. This issue is kind of insane. Ewing is talking about a lot of things here. I think he's talking about, the state of the world and what we've done to it, how he feels about big corporations, maybe how he feels about Marvel Comics being owned by Disney, maybe how he feels about Thor being used as a content thing in the propaganda of a mega corporation. Maybe all of that. It's possible. This book opens up with Thor storming into the office of Dario Agger, who is, of course, the Minotaur. It's in an office. He breaks the doors to, the elevator, breaks his desk. He's like, dude, you're a billionaire asshole. My mom's pissed at you guys. I just spent the last issue talking to my mom, Gaia, and she said humanity's doomed. They screwed themselves over. Everything's bad. And I'm gonna blame you, you rich dickhead. This is all your fault. You corporate fat cats on Wall Street ruining the world. It's yeah, I guess. I don't know. Dario's yeah, sure. I mean, if you want to be mad at me for that, sure. I guess you could blame me for all the greed of humanity throughout time. But let me show you, why I'm okay with that. Everything ending. And then, an illusion takes form. And, the narration from the book tells us that when the illusion takes form, Thor doesn't respond to it as an illusion. He's like, did you just travel me through time? And he's like, well, that shouldn't have fooled me as much as it did. So he's clearly distracted by something. And they even talk about how the axe he carries feels heavier as stuff goes on. You're like, oh, that's weird. But it's humanity and it's desolate and barren except for a big dome called the Roxxon Dome. And inside the Roxxon Dome, it's the next evolution of capitalism. And you walk inside, it's just green pastures and suburbs. Everything is perfect. Those who can afford to escape the apocalypse, they'll escape it, baby. It's all about money, baby. I love seeing money. Money, money, money. I'm a Minotaur that loves money. Look what I can do for you with money. Isn't this cool? We just see two people chilling by their house. It's obviously Enchantress and the Executioner just having a nice lemonade mowing the lawn. And we just listen to Dario talk about everything going on. He's like, you might want to find a reason why I do this. You could blame it on whatever. Who cares? But the truth is, I just like money. I like watching see things rise. I like what he says. He's like, oh, I could make a speech, I suppose. Some rock tube ready blather pop fascism for the rubes and the tech bros. I could blame my tragic childhood or lust for blood and cruelty. The truth is, I like money. Money makes me happy. And rich people will pay for anything, including escaping the world. And you know what? I can't argue with anything that's said there. I feel like if there was a situation where this type of thing was to happen, if Earth truly was broken, the rich would find a way to make sure that they could survive and pay for, living. They'd make you... Okay, we already pay to stay alive, but you know what I mean, where it's you'd pay to breathe the air you have now if something like this were to arise. And that's what it is. And this entire time, it's kind of a sales pitch, but it's also a distraction, so the Executioner can just break the illusion and hit Thor with his axe. And it kind of takes them back to normal, but, they get into a little bit of a scrap, and Thor's kind of not doing too great. He's like losing control of some of his power. You see, they kind of imply like one of the reasons that Scourge is doing so good in this fight is because he died in place of Thor during one of the things where Thor was supposed to die. So he's kind of like essentially, in like a narrative sense, taking the place of Thor so he can become stronger in that sense. And I can't be against that. It's mythology. Who cares? That stuff makes sense. But it breaks the illusion and Thor like falls through like the office. So he grabs Mjolnir, comes back, and they're back in the office just ready to continue their fight. Thor's pissed off that this Asgardian is now working for the enemy. This guy that's corrupting the planet, man. Come on, Scourge, you're better than this. Is he, though? Not really. Because then Enchantress shows up and she hits him with, like, magic power and just gives him, like, a stupid speech about how Thor doesn't really care about Asgardians and all the bullshit involved with them. Because when she died, he wasn't there to help. It was Heimdall. And then Heimdall died or something. And Thor wasn't there. And then she brings up her kids, Alvi and Uruk, who were in Strange Academy, which is a book I covered all of. And I like that they're bringing it up here. And she's like, then Uruk was murdered. And you didn't help with any of that with your people. You're like a dick, Thor. We're your people and you haven't helped us at all. You're just busy doing like your adventures on Midgard. So then you see Amora like turns it back into the illusion. She sits back on her bench just ready to chill out. Thor's like, okay, I'm starting to think like everything happening to me has to do with like your magic. You're manipulating my mind. You're making me seem weaker. I think that's what's going. But because he figured that out not so quick, she's like, maybe you are slipping, dude. Like, you're kind of losing it here, man. You're kind of falling apart, you know? It's cool. And you see, like, this is kind of like a fun thing for Enchantress. She's get to, like, show off her, like, artistic vision. Look how much fun she's having, like, creating this illusion, making Thor look this way. As she says that, Dario appears in the clouds like, art? Ugh, I don't like art. I prefer content. Content. I'm Bob Iger. I'm Nelson Peltz, if you want a more timely reference. Oh, it's great. And Thor's like, this is stupid. This is dumb. Like, I wanted to talk to you about the planet dying, and now you're showing me you're okay with it so you can just be like a capitalist? That's pretty stupid and messed up. And it's dumb. And then they start calling Thor content like he is content, and it's not looking good for him. He's getting really pissed off. He's not really, like, winning the fight too good. He's able to, like, break free of some certain things. But then they're just like, all right, just stop fighting, Thor, okay? It's not really going anywhere. Just look at this, okay? Your content. And then you just see Dario like hold up a Thor comic book from it's a Roxxon book, so it's no longer owned by Marvel. He's like, what is this periodical? It's an illusion. Amora's like, not really. I mean, it's just something that I kind of like hid for you until it was like time for the big reveal. I put a lot of work into making this. It's art for Amora. It's content for Dario. He's the CEO. She is like the creator, the showrunner, if you will. And Dario's like, yeah, you know, look at this. Your little book now. And it's not just like, you know, you, because Thor's like a public domain guy, so we can't just like do Thor. But like your recent adventures, a lot of them have to do with like Midgard and stuff. You know, just like your recent exploits. Like we could, you know, make money off of that. And we're making money off of you. And now that we control the machine that controls you, it's just easy. Look how easy this is. Look at what we're doing. It's so easy. It's simple. Like, we just have to, like, control the narrative. And we literally own the rights to the narrative now. So look at how easy it is. I also like the way that Amora's like, yeah, I mean, it's not hard to, like, change the things. We just have to, like, make up space for volume. A couple of million mortals reading this, and I'm obsessed with the use of million. I like that the word million is boldened, where she's just like, yeah, like a million people are going to read this book. Comic books are not like a millions of readers kind of thing, but I'm glad Ewing said millions. You know, on paper, or on free websites, or a panel at a time when it comes across social media. All of these are just ways for people to get your story, Thor. And you know what? That's fair, because I'm probably going to post a picture of this panel to social media, and that's probably going to get somebody to read it. Or I'm going to post this to YouTube. I'm going to put pictures up. I'm going to talk about it on TikTok. People are going to realize that this is a book that they can read, and that's controlling the narrative of Thor. And the entire time, she's like, you want to read it, don't you? You want to know, like, your story? You want to read it? Just read it. Come on, read it. You can't fight it, man. Like, we own your ass. Your content, Thor. It's very meta without being strictly meta. It's not like, you know, the one above all comes down and says, like, hiya, Thor Excelsior. Guess what? You're part of Marvel Comics. It's just more like, you're a comic book, dude. We own your right. And yeah, we like that. It's fun. So Thor is holding the periodical about himself. And it looks like he's about to continue reading the book, and that is when we see, as Thor's turning the page, a person emerges in front of them, holding a Roxxon hammer of Mjolnir, wearing a gauntlet with the letter T on it. Uh-oh, who could it be? This is the land of lost content, baby, and the next issue is actually going to be Thor #1 from Roxxon. You're like, that's kind of sick. Kind of cool. Roxxon presents Thor, so I'm all in on that. What a weird thing we're doing. I like that. So the Roxxon Age of Comics begins. In his secret identity as AI spokes guru Chad Hammer, the son of Odin knows Mama Gaia is top priority for heroes and for business. But when a group of insane environmental activists takes saving the Earth too far, it's time to show them the wisdom of both sides as Thor. But which god of evil is prompting the kids to rebel? Could it be Loki, god of evil? Featuring an all-star cast of heroes, Minotaur, Executioner, Enchantress, and the Thor Truck. This is the story of Roxxon Thor. It's a vital part of the Absolute Absolution mega event. Okay. I'm in. Okay, he sold me. I love this book. I love this book so much. Just the basic concept of like, all right, I'm storming into the offices of Elon Musk and I'm being like, dude, you fucked over the planet. And he's like, actually, I'm okay with that because then I can monetize the planet and I can get more money and more revenue streams and it's okay. And none of this really matters for you because I literally own your narrative. So if I don't want you to do this, I can just write about it and then like post it on like a free comic book website and people will read it and you can just get bent. That's pretty cool. That's a pretty cool idea because it's just so ridiculous and I love it so much. Ugh, so stupid. I will definitely be reading the Roxxon Presents Thor #1. That sounds really awesome. Can't wait. So, the Immortal Thor issue #9. I am going to give a 9 out of 10. Now, thank you all for watching this review. Be sure to like and subscribe to the channel. As always, you can check me out on Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter. And of course, I will catch you in the next one. Have fun. Stay safe. Good luck.